that
For Walnut, yes.
for Walnut.
Yes,
And, you know, I mean, it seems like you could probe it or something
Well,
and find out what
John and I
kind.
talked today, they should probably actually store a core or do a core sample.
Do a core on it, and if we can't mill it,
Yeah, that's the
then,
cap on.
I mean, obviously know what we have to do.
It's not really not a very good street. It's rounded, and it's not well defined. It sort of wanders all over. There's wide shoulders and narrow. We've got that business up there that is very important, and it just doesn't look very good.
That doesn't include the back page. That, I think what Doug was saying is this right here is the price to mill and do Walnut Street. This right here is the price just to pay $22,548 versus $39,908. And they just broke it down for Walnut Street on the second page. If I'm reading that
This
correctly.
is better, just this thing here.
Yes, the 77,000.
Just close it.
Total of that first page.
So then if we wanted to do the milling, then we'd add another,
Wow.
17,000.
Okay.
Well, that's only for that one
Oh,
street.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Just milling Walnut.
Yeah, that's one.
yeah, that's just
Hey,
for
let me
that.
show you how this
And then you would
works,
have to
okay?
back 22,000.
Water flows downhill.
Or you would just add difference to that number.
The second page is milling and blacktop. First quote on the front page is Walnut with everything else, it's just blacktop, which is 22.
I understand, but the first price is 22 just to blacktop it.
Yeah.
The second page is 39.9 to mill and blacktop. She added everything on the front page. If we decide to do everything on the front page plus mill it, we add an additional 17,000.
But only mill Walnut Street.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
What total did you get?
77,674,
On the first page.
Right,
and then,
waterfall.
well, I might as well say an additional 18,000 on top of that number if we mill the street.
If we can mill the street.
Yeah.
Well, we don't need to approve this tonight if you wanna.
No, when I read it, the first question I had was, how much money do we have available to us? Because we obviously need to pay. We need to pay, guys. And if we could do everything on the list, I'd want to. But your question about how much money do we have to leave in that bucket to be able to cover everything else becomes relatively important, because we're gonna be down to basically $30,000 doing rough math if we do everything on the list.
But we got more coming in July 1.
Sure.
And I'd like to see us spend as much as possible, maximize the effort since they're in town and we're doing it.
It's there for us to spend. I think we should.
Yeah, but we've not spent our budget on paving for,
We done 23,000 the year before last, and there wasn't,
We were just kind of patching, but did we do any?
some small areas. We did do one complete street from the old license branch to Grove Street.
and I suggested to Doug today that perhaps Scott at ALS would maybe help with that project a little bit if he was gonna get it.
I don't know, it would definitely be something to bring up to him. I think they're a lot like the town right now. Business is tough,
Yeah.
you know, but we'll know more probably next month, because I think end of April is when a lot of the government contracts come through, so. I'm not ashamed to ask anybody for help.
Never hurts that. No.
Maybe he'll do his own sidewalk or something right through there.
The issue there, his sidewalk here is in good shape, it has a little bit of a curve to it, but his doorway,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it's all downhill there, and it's miserable trying to plow that or anything else.
That whole road there needs to be scraped down and dozed off and lowered at least 6 inches. And,
Build your base back up with 53 and compact it, roll it.
that'll really be expensive, so probably can't do that, but, anyway, take a look at it and we'll, I'd like to get this awarded, our next meeting, if not in a special meeting before that.
Thank you for getting that together for us, Doug. That's really good information.
Just to let you know, John, the MVH, since I've been here, has always been fully funded because of the revenue that's coming in. So the amount that's been asked has always been fully funded. So, and then just like I mentioned, we are receiving additional tax money. So
Yeah.
we're using actually less of our tax money for that
I
purpose.
just wanted, my concern was if we use that whole 102 or a big part of it, what would we possibly be shorting ourselves on? Is that my street signage, gravel for alleys? I'm trying to think of any other things that might come out of it that we wouldn't want to run low on.
But we get a draw after July 1st, we get a draw.
I thought that was a question.
I mean, but is there things that would come out of there that we would want to leave a certain amount in there?
I mean,
for-
that's,
Is that our street sign, say like,
What else gets paid out of that fund?
I answered that just a little bit
well,
ago.
with the police? And
Yeah, and with your repairs and, materials and.
Street signage?
So like if we would,
MVH,
And I'll get you the exact answer here.
any grants out there for street work?
Not really, no.
How about swimming pools?
Yeah,
Water park,
I'd be a rich woman if I had to ask.
I hear you. Popular anyway.
Yeah.
Petersburg got a nice water park down there, huh? What'd that cost you?
Just under 200,000. We had we had 100 and, we raised about 160. So we had about 40,000 on money. There are grants available for street work. Problem is, it has to be built to federal standard, and your 20% match becomes the equivalent of what you paid to do it yourself. So
that
that's,
makes sense.
yeah. And all your sidewalks, everything has to be ADA compliant and, all of that kind of stuff. If you get into that.
Could we like do a big chunk of this now and then more after July?
Of the paving?
Well, one thing with, when he was pricing this,
Let's do it all right here.
it's easier for them to bring that equipment in and be here several days, or come in, haul all the equipment in, set up and do a day, day and a half, and pull out.
Well, can we do it around the last of June and then 30 days of paying?
How long did you stretch that quote out for? Because I know that the raw material costs are fluctuating for asphalt and pavement.
He said that, he did mention they were actually, the same, these material costs were the same as what it was the year before, I think, last year with I-69 and all the paving and the demand.
So he didn't put a timeline on that quote?
I would have thought so, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing it.
A timeline on when you can get it done?
Like
As
either
far
they're
as
good for 30
the
days.
quote's good for 30 days, 60 days from the time of submittal? Because a lot of raw material costs are really fluctuating right now, and they don't usually leave themselves